So today I'm talking to Kendra, who is an anxiety hacker client of mine, and she's just finished the program, and I've invited her along today to tell you about her experience. So welcome, Kendra. And
Hi.
hi. So I was wondering, first of all, if you could just tell us a bit about how anxiety was affecting your life before coming on and joining the Anxiety Hacker program.
Okay. Well, first, I've had depression and anxiety pretty much my whole life, and it's steadily gotten worse. The last 3 years, I was pretty much hitting my personal rock bottom, and as most people on this journey, I've tried a lot of techniques over the years on how to get healthy, a lot of different talk therapies, art therapies, medication, and all kinds of self-help. In the last year, I've had the biggest progress where I'm finally not drowning in my mental illness, but I still wasn't really living. And so by the time I found your anxiety hacker program, I was only having panic attacks every few weeks, and I could function pretty well, but I just needed that one thing to kind of push me past that point, get me so, it was manageable. So when it did crop up, I could handle it. So that's pretty much where I was at.
Right. So would you say that you were sort of stuck at that level, that you had sort of stripped away a lot of layers and done a lot of work on yourself, but you couldn't just get to that final point in your recovery?
Yeah, definitely. I've done, yeah, like I said, like talk therapy is always really great, and all the self-help stuff is great, but sometimes you just need that extra push and that new thing, that new, you know, idea that just sparks that next step and that final push, and that's kind of where I was at right before I found you.
Yeah. Okay. And can you give us a little snapshot of what your anxiety looked like, and how it played out for you in your life, like what symptoms you had and that sort of thing?
Um, well, my anxiety was really, it pretty much felt like there was a rock kind of sitting on my chest. It was really hard to breathe. I felt very high strung and very, just kind of overwhelmed with everything. I have a 2-year-old son, and so obviously he's walking around crazy, all the time tantruming, just wanting to play, and a lot of the times it was really hard to just sit down and focus and not be wrapped up and feeling just like negative and bad about everything. I just wasn't able to play with him and feel okay, and that was a really big thing for me. I think we focused on in the beginning was making sure I could, sit down and be mindful and be like, okay, I don't need to think about these thoughts right now. I can focus on what I'm doing, and that was a really big transformation.
So just connecting with the present moment and getting out
Yeah.
of your head. Great.
Yep.
Great. And so after working with me, how has your anxiety changed, and like what does it look like now? How does it affect your life now?
It's been like a crazy transformation, I think. Like I said, I've been progressing really well over the last year, but there's never been like something so fast and significant as the short amount of time I've worked with you. And I think like just talk like the techniques of learning of being mindful and accepting your all of your emotions and your thoughts and making sure that I practice those on my own was so essential. I have gotten to a point where I feel it's really, really manageable now. Because like I very rarely have anxiety days, and when I do, I can sit down and say, okay, this is what I'm thinking and feeling, and I don't necessarily have to like it, but it is here, and I accept it, and that does wonders. Like it's amazing how much it helps. I have two examples I wanted to share about
Okay.
how about events that have happened while we've been working together. So about a month ago, my husband and our son, we were going to go to a party, and my anxiety before kept me from being social like at all. And for a really long time, I could barely even leave the house. So I was kind of hesitant to be social and go to this party, but we had started working together, and I felt like I could handle it. So we went, and on the drive there, I was a little bit anxious, but I kind of took a few deep breaths and used the technique of I feel anxious, I don't like it, and I don't have to enjoy it, but it's here and I accept it. And then I made it through the 2-hour party without even one anxious moment, and I was like so amazed with myself because it was completely new people, new place, and we had our son with us, so he was running all over the place, but it was really great that I made it through that. without anything.
And part of that drive to get through that, I think, was also connecting with your values around wanting to meet more people and connect with others and have that sort of social interaction that you were missing out on before.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then the other example I wanted to talk about was this this past weekend. I was supposed to go babysit my new niece with my mom overnight. So that meant leaving my son and husband, which I haven't really ever done before. And I thought I was going to do okay with it because I didn't have any anxiety leading up to it. Like I didn't feel anxious at the thought of it like I would have in the past. But the day of, I kind of just had a panic attack out of nowhere. And the ACT techniques are really great for general anxiety, but they don't really work as well when you're in the middle of a panic attack. But I did manage to breathe through it, and it wasn't super intense. And then when I did calm down, I used the techniques, and I was kind of thinking, okay, I've felt really well, and I'm managing really well. So this panic attack to me shows that this is a sign that I'm not ready to take this step. And I really just accepted that thought. And in the past, I would have had that panic attack and had the thought, okay, I can't go, this ruins everything, and I have to have a bad weekend now because I feel guilty and blah, blah, blah. But because I accepted that this was where I had to honor my body and this was where I was, I went on and I was happy and had a great weekend with my husband and son, and it didn't, it was great to just move on and accept it, okay?
Yeah, I love that story. And something else that you didn't buy into was that judgment that this is something that's terrible or bad, like this is the worst thing ever, this is, I'm a bad person, or I need to feel guilty now, or any of that.
Yeah.
And you've just been able to be really open to the experience and say, well, here it is, I don't like it, but I'm just going to manage it as best as I can. And then once it's over, you're able to let it go and move on.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
And so when we were working together, we had 7 hours together, and you presented with anxiety early on, and we worked through that, and it got to the point by where maybe our 3rd or 4th session, we were actually starting to talk about things that weren't anxiety, because anxiety sort of stopped being a problem for you so much, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell me what other things our sessions together influenced in your life and how that helped you?
I think one of the great things that we talked about a lot was it had to do with self-confidence and honoring and respecting my own boundaries and my own time. In the fact that, if people ask me for a favor, then I need to make sure that they're being respectful of what I need versus what they need as well. And coming to decisions to further my progress and kind of be okay with how I run my day and my routine. And I think that, it helped my relationship with my parents because I was able to be more outspoken and confident and telling them about, if you need me to help you around the house, then I'm happy to, but I need you to be respectful of where I'm at with my business and with my time with my family as well. And that also helped because of that conversation, my husband and I finally decided to put our son in daycare so that I could honor my needs of focusing on my business and his needs of needing social interaction and that whole thing.
Yeah. So it's really gone above and beyond anxiety. It started with anxiety and it's sort of been there the whole time, but it's really been a whole lifestyle change for you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so how have you benefited from using mindfulness in your everyday life and ACT techniques?
Well, basically I use it pretty much whenever there's any kind of negative feeling or something uncomfortable coming up. I still get not anxious, but kind of just stressed about money a lot. And I use one of the meditations that I really liked was taking a thought and kind of visualizing it and manipulating it and remembering that it's just a thought. It can't hurt you. That was a great one. That was very helpful. Yeah. And the other one, and then also I try not to make thoughts sorry, losing my words.
That's okay.
Say if things are good or bad. So like if I'm having kind of a down day, or if I'm feeling sick or lazy, kind of a thing, in the past I would have been, oh, this sucks, this is crappy, but now I kind of, I feel like all feelings are okay to have. It's just how you kind of react to it and accept it, and sometimes you just need to have a crappy day where you sit and watch TV, and that's okay, and I don't have to feel bad about it anymore. So
yeah, you can just accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And just to finish off, is there anything that you'd like to add about your experience working with me, or about the techniques, the program, anything at all?
I can't even really begin to say how many times that it's completely changed everything, because like I said, I was in such a place where I was stuck for so long, and it's really just pushed me over and changed every single aspect of my life that it's insane to even think about. And it's been so great working with you, because in the past it would have been really hard. It was really hard for me to talk to strangers and meet with new people, but you were really accepting and really you were just really understanding, and you shared your own personal stories and feelings, so that I felt comfortable talking, and so that I felt like you completely understood what I was going through, and it wasn't hard to show up to the sessions, and I looked forward to them all the time. And so I think if there's anybody out there in a similar point where I was, where you just kind of need that push, you need something new to work with, I think you shouldn't even hesitate to sign up for this program, because I'm gonna miss our meetings, even though I feel so great, but I'm gonna just having the the ACT techniques are so great, and they seem really simple in that all you have to do is sit and accept your thoughts and feelings, but it also sounds hard if you don't have somebody to work with. And you getting to do the techniques with you in the sessions and do meditations during our sessions really helped me learn how to use them for myself, and it just is amazing. And I just think everybody should take advantage of this.
Oh, thank you so much. I got a bit teary there. I've loved working with you as well. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. And I look forward to keeping in touch and hearing more about how your story unfolds.
Bye.